Destiny is a game with many players that cost many dollars to make, and it's been generally very successful, but it's not without its problems. And one of those problems is its lackluster story. But can we really call it a problem when the game has been such a huge commercial success? And if it is still a big issue, why hasn't it impacted upon the game's popularity? The gameplay versus plot debate is a tale as old as time, but with super successes like Destiny that have been accused of having a story that's actually worse than Twilight, you have to wonder if story matters all that much when the gameplay is still engaging players. First up, let's chat about whether Destiny's story really matters or not. It's worth mentioning that Bungie certainly didn't set out to make Destiny all about the gameplay and light on story. In fact, in Bungie's founding statements, they claim to have two goals, the first of which reads, develop kick-ass games that combine state-of-the-art technology with uncompromising art, captivating storytelling, and deep gameplay. With review after review touting that Destiny missed the mark on that captivating storytelling bit though, what does it say about what it is gamers are really after, given that Destiny has an average of 3.2 million players logging on every day? Gamers seem to slot themselves into a few different categories. Those who prioritize gameplay over story, those who enjoy detailed narrative worlds even if the gameplay is a little lacking, and those who don't want their games to have any weak links. It's worth then looking at whether a weak link can take down a game. Evidently, Destiny's so-so story hasn't hurt its success too much, and we see the same sort of thing in the critical success of Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, whose gameplay far outshines its plot. Comparatively, story-driven games that don't deliver on gameplay rarely find themselves in the AAA spectrum. One example is 2012's Spec Ops: The Line, which went all in on its heavy Apocalypse Now-esque story, but underpinned it with uninspired third-person shooter gameplay, although some people argue that was the point. The basic gameplay was crucial to the storytelling, but it still left some gamers with a bad taste in their mouths. As a result, it's difficult to compare the mutual success of games that prioritize story and fail on gameplay versus games like Destiny, except to suggest that the reason we don't see very many story-driven games getting the backing of big publishers is that gamers want gameplay first and story second. Moreover, where a game with crappy story but good gameplay can succeed, a game with poor gameplay and a great story is unlikely to attain commercial success, although they can achieve critical success in the cases of games like Gone Home, The Walking Dead, and Heavy Rain. It's worth looking at why Destiny didn't suffer from its crappy story, given that it's been such a prominent criticism, and I think this meme created by a Destiny player is a really good place to start. 2 weeks ago, Reddit user Buddhist32 submitted an image entitled "After hearing all of the Destiny hating and finally beating the last story mission," followed by the text, "I'm not sure what I did, but I had fun doing it." Maybe it doesn't really matter. Even Peter Dinklage and Nathan Fillion couldn't convince us to care about the plot. The script contains numerous cringeworthy phrases such as, "I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain." And perhaps the fact that it's all too silly to care about works in the favor of players who are in the let's just shoot things and pick up shiny shit mindset. I mean, look at Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Despite Blizzard's love of cinematic cutscenes, the base game wouldn't have benefited from a meatier story. It needed optimized gameplay features, the inclusion of special loot-filled rifts, and unlimited level caps to entice players back. I doubt that many people decided to pick up Diablo 3 again to play the extra story bits, particularly when Blizzard improved on the gameplay so drastically for gamers who love the grind and loot chase. And I'd venture that's a very similar reason to why Destiny players continue to return to the universe every day. All 3.2 million of you. As much as everybody mutually agrees that Destiny's story isn't anything to write home about, Destiny has been sold and promoted primarily as an always-online multiplayer FPS, where the title concerns are loot and shooting dudes in the face to get that loot. And most gamers seem to be happy to take it for what it is, which suggests that perhaps Destiny's lack of engaging story doesn't matter all that much to the overall experience, at least not to those of you who've enjoyed it. But let me know what you think. Do you reckon Destiny is allowed to have a weak story, or should games like this work harder to be good in every aspect? Leave me your thoughts and I will catch you next week.